All right, all right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game, well, Undead versus Night Elf here on Springtime. Dice spawning as the yellow Night Elf over here on the bottom right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, a Korean name that I do not know how to pronounce over here on the top left. So, gonna just try and use Undead versus Night Elf throughout this matchup. Now, Undead, opening things up, Crypt, Altar of Darkness, waiting to see what type of hero he will be training, and it will be a Death Knight going up against a Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter, a very, very strong hero at shutting down enemy heroes. Keeper of the Grove also has been pretty strong as well. We can see Dise actually took quite a bit of damage on this Ancient of War. And what was this here? That Ancient of War was a bit late, and oh wow, I feel like I fast forward thinking I knew what was going to happen in the first 2 minutes of this game. Necropolis being built into the main center portion of the map. Death Knight rounding the corner here. We see ghouls are not even joining in on the fight. Death Knight doesn't even have a Rod of Necromancy. Finds a Wisp and Death Coils it. And my brain's just trying to process what's happening. Ancient of War already able to regenerate some lost hit points. Death Knight got another kill on one of Dice's Wisps here. So there's another kill. So the Death Knight just walked into the Night Elf base and took down 3 Wisps. That's going to be major lumber loss for Dice. Dice losing a large amount of lumber here. You can see a couple of, well, there's an Ancient of War there. There's a Wisp there, but I don't think there's actually enough Wisps out on the battlefield to easily clear out or get enough lumber to, well, get going. When he finishes Tier 2, or when he's done teching the Tier 2, he may find himself really severely behind in lumber, as we're looking at, well, a Necropolis upgrading to a... Okay, the Necropolis in the center portion of the map is upgrading to a Halls of the Dead. The Necropolis back here is not upgrading. The Altar of Darkness is still in play. It was not unsummoned. And ghouls are now, like, doing creeping. So this... the Death Knight is... Okay, finally or selling that Scroll of Town Portal. So there was a little bit of a delay on that Tomb of Relics. Doesn't have a Clarity Potion. Ghouls are now making their way out. And the Demon Hunter gonna perhaps try and shut down this Ziggurat here. My mind is just absolutely confused right now in terms of trying to figure out what that actual long-term play is going to be. Is he going to... there's the cancellation, and now in comes all of these ghouls as the Necropolis. It looks like the Necropolis... If Dice doesn't click on this Necropolis, you might actually think, oh, this building is just being summoned here, and then wondering why the Demon Hunter wasn't doing enough damage. It's not doing enough damage because it's actually being upgraded. It has full armor. The Demon Hunter was only doing 10 damage per slash against that fortified armor, and it's going to be a Black Citadel. He's going to have a very powerful, well, pretty much tower in the middle of the map to try and haunt this gold mine, take an economic advantage, and just... taking positioning and being able to perhaps move around the map with relative ease. Alright, Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3 picked up there. Skeletal Minions going to get summoned up here. And now, by taking this Necropolis in the center portion of the map, is he going to try and like build a slaughterhouse in the middle of the map, so reinforcements that come just that much more quickly as well? Alright, Naga Sea Witch. Dice coming back around, wanting to get quick pressure. Training up a Naga Sea Witch instead. Lich already getting trained up. There's a graveyard. Perhaps that's what we were waiting for in order to get that slaughterhouse. Meanwhile, Lumber, well, Dice apparently not down on Lumber, getting trained up, getting dual Ancients of Lore now, as the Naga Sea Witch and the Demon Hunter look to clear out this Ogre Magi creep camp. Alright, Illusions there. Death Knight still wandering around. Perhaps going to go after this Polar Bear Ogre Magi creep camp. Going after this Forest Troll Berserker here. And meanwhile, Ultra Vision, well, upgrade nearly done, giving better sight to all of the Night Elf units. Now, alright, there's, well... are we going to see some repairs? Acolytes getting, well, trying to get some repairs here. Acolytes taking a little bit of damage. Acolyte's trying to retreat back. All right, Spirit Tower is now up and operational. Acolyte just wandering around here, saying, you know what can you really do? Are we going to get some slow onto that Demon Hunter? Yeah, the Demon Hunter now going to be a bit slowed, and the Spirit Tower and the Halls of the Dead with that slow effect going to force that Demon Hunter to back up. Meanwhile, the Lich is now out here onto the battlefield, and with the Lich's help, this is, yeah, I think I theory crafted trying to take this center gold mine. Remember, you could build the way things are positioned on this map. This is one of the few maps where you can actually build a town hall or a halls of the or necropolis in this instance without actually aggroing the creeps. Now with that, it actually turned this location into an interesting position. Demon Hunter, well, able to take down the Furbolg right there, gonna deny a bit of experience. Death Knight still coming to rack around. There's that mana burn once more. It looks like the tracker is gonna get taken down, taking quite a bit of damage. Demon Hunter still right there. There's a Death Coil Frost Nova as the Demon Hunter, well, questions his choices as we see a Halls of the Dead now upgrading to a Black Citadel right in the middle of the map. All right, this is going to be a problem though. The Dryads able to do quite a bit of damage. Going to be a low hit point. Ghoul getting taken out. And remember, while the Halls of the Dead is upgrading, the Black Citadel, or the Halls of the Dead cannot attack. It loses that attack advantage as the Haunted Gold Mine is nearing completion. Slaughterhouse should be training up a couple of Obsidian statues here in just a moment. We're looking at 40 supply compared to 42. As both sides are fighting across here. Big Fork Lightning going across here. One Skeletal Minion getting taken down. Low hit point Ghoul trying to get away. Mana burn onto the Lich. Lich unable to use that Frost Nova as the Haunted Gold Mine nearing completion. All right, Spirit Tower is not going to be enough. And this forward location by Dise, it may end up getting taken down. I believe that was a Dryad getting finished off here. So the Spirit Tower trying to use that piercing damage to its advantage. Meanwhile, the Haunted Gold Mine is, well, taking a lot of damage here, but it's about to be completed, and now it's going to be repaired or being haunted now. All right, additional Ziggurats getting summoned up. 43 supply over 50. Acolyte about to get taken down. There it goes. The Halls of the Dead not having that cold attack to slow down the Demon Hunter is a really big issue. We're going to see the Demon Hunter perhaps get to level 3 here. There's a rejuvenation. So the Druid of the Claw out here, level 3 now on the Demon Hunter. That's going to cause some major problems as, well, Undead coming back around. There's a Death Coil finishing off a Forest Troll Shadow Priest. We could see a Fork Lightning. No, Demon Hunter just going to give it a nice little love tap, finish it off, as the Naga Sea Witch also very close to level 3. All right, this is going to be one of those timing situations where if the Naga Sea Witch can get up to level 3, level 2 Fork Lightning will open up large amounts of burst damage across all of those ghouls if they are brought over. Meanwhile, well, Undead are trying to finish off some of the Ice Troll Berserkers, and we're looking at Spirit Towers nearing completion. Timing is going to be key here. The Halls of the Dead nearing tier 3 for Black Citadel as the Spirit Towers and now Nerubian Towers coming online. All right, there's an Obsidian statue. Acolytes, well, mana burn onto the Obsidian statue. That Obsidian statue going to get taken out before it really is able to provide any true support here as the Halls of the Dead now just about to complete here. All right. Forward location. Well, a little bit of poking across all of this. Now that Black Citadel is online, that is going to be some big damage indeed. Dryad finding that Lich, going to get some slow poison off onto that unit as well, as the units are going to try and regroup. Undead, well, needs to bring all of these units together. Obsidian statue is here. We need to see a bit more acolytes as well. Meanwhile, in the base of Dise is training up additional Ancient of Lores, getting that abolished magic, and perhaps trying to get, well, doesn't really need additional experience, has the hero level advantage. Perhaps going to just try to get up to 50 supply and then push back across. All right, needs to get in a little bit of heals on all of these units as well. We're looking at perhaps one more bear about to be added as the Death Knight and the Lich sitting at level 3, level 1, looking to finish off the remainder of these creeps here. 39 supply compared to 45. Undead definitely having the economic advantage and also having an interesting outpost in the center portion of the map. These getting a, well, Destroyer form as well, and does have a Naga Sea Witch as that third and final hero. Lich will get to level 2. Death Knight may get to level 4, so it could be a dual level up. Yeah, there's that dual level up, and now we're looking at Acolytes trying to repair here. Lich needs to Frost Nova down. There's a Fork Lightning. There's a Death Coil Frost Nova onto the Demon Hunter. Units are trying to retreat back here. Dual towers. Demon Hunter in a lot of trouble, down to 189 hit points, and, well, able to get Staff to Preservation by that Lich. Tracker going to get taken out here. Lich is at level 2. Naga Sea Witch sitting at 1. Level 6 unit gets taken out. Perhaps the Robe of Magi will be given to that Naga Sea Witch or that Lich for a little bit of bonus damage. Well, Lich already having that Orb of Corruption. There you have it. There you go. All right, Demon Hunter back in play here. 4 out of 5 Acolytes mining at this haunted gold mine. Additional Ziggurats getting summoned up here, and that is going to perhaps provide a bit of cover. Meanwhile, well, Dise using this opportunity to clear out the northern Goblin Laboratory creep camp. All right, so northern Goblin Laboratory creep camp going to get cleared out. Dice's Tuskar Trapper, these units are going to get finished off. Meanwhile, in the southern portion, Dise does have a Tree of Life, trying to get a full saturation gold mine to well, close out on that economic advantage as a Ghoul gets finished off here. All right, Crypt Fiend. Is it going to end up getting taken out? Slow poison, but no, able to walk back onto Blight, add in some Frost armor, and, well, that should slow things down tremendously for the Druids of the Claw in pursuit. Now, what's going to be happening here on Springtime? Just so strange to see the starting location of Undead having still a Necropolis while having 3 heroes out. Additional Obsidian statues getting trained up here. We're looking at a crypt, a proxy crypt here in the center portion of the map in order to train up extra units. There's a, well, Mana Burn Demon Hunter Orb of Venom taking quite a bit of damage. Cold Arrows. Well, there's another Mana Burn again as the Staff of Preservation brings him back home. Now, Wand of Negation, dispel all magical effects on a single target while also dealing damage to a single. So what they're trying to do is remove that rejuvenation instead. Crypt Fiend trying to back away. Was hoping for ATR, but original is okay sometimes. Yeah, no, this is some craziness here. Black Citadel in the center portion of the map here. Are we going to see a Crypt Fiend? Yes, Crypt Fiend getting saved up. There's a Mana Burn onto the Lich again. One Tuskar Trapper still fighting back the other way. We should be looking at a Staff of Preservation. Is going to be able to get away. No, going to be able to just walk away barely. And the unit's just going to walk away slowly but surely again. All right, low hit point Destroyer actually gets taken down. Dise gets up to level 4. Level 2 now on the Naga Sea Witch of Undead as they're continuing to pull back continually. All right, there's another Fork Lightning finding another Undead Crypt Fiend. Naga Sea Witch falls at level 4 though. Excuse me, level 2. As the Druids of the Claw were in Druid form for a moment, chasing down some of those Crypt Fiends. All right, so Crypt Fiends getting cleaned up here. Archers, there's another Mana Burn. Obsidian Statue taking quite a bit of damage. One more Mana Burn should finish it off. Is the Demon Hunter going to be able to close in on that distance after all those units, or the Archer is going to be able to find the last shots there? Obsidian Statue down to 9 hit points. Is it going to die? Yes, it does. The Archer let that arrow fly and, well, ends up taking it down. All right. Quick Abolish Magics, removing those skeletal minions right there. 67 supply compared to 46. Undead severely behind in terms of supply as a Druid of the Claw trying to make its way over. Oh, this could just be a gift-wrapped unit right there. There's a Death Coil. No Staff of Preservation. Naga Sea Witch perhaps outside of range. 63 supply compared to 46. Worse would have been if it was a double level up for that Death Knight. Or a level up for the Death Knight or the Lich. Level 5, level 3 suddenly would shift and turn the tide of that battle quickly. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter going after the Magnetar Reaver Creep Camp. Dual level 4 heroes trying to get to perhaps level 5. Level 3 Mana Burn would greatly change the outcome, as we are also looking at Druids of the Talon out there on the battlefield as well. Night Elf. Dise fully saturating this gold mine on the southern side. Both sides 2 bases, both sides at tier 3, but as any good storyteller will tell you, it's not the ending, it's the journey to get there. And these players took very drastic and different routes to get to this late game. A little bit of an unorthodox opening by the Undead to be able to take the center position, but we are looking at, well, the Demon Hunter trying to knock it down already. Goblin Sappers takes out the Ziggurat already. A second, well, I thought that was a Goblin Sapper for a second. No, not another Goblin Sapper, and it looks like Dise is going to be able to clean up this Black Citadel position. More Acolytes being, or the Acolytes being brought back over. Naga Sea already out of mana. Druid of the Claw, Staff of Preservation's beautiful save there. I thought he was going to try to rejuvenate. All of these Druids of the Talon are just webbed down right now, but it may not matter as the Lich, Lich being forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal. All right, trying to reposition. Naga Sea just trying to make its way back over. Are we going to see a Fork Lightning on all of those units? Fork Lightning onto the Naga Sea, mana burn onto the Lich, and 2 heroes quickly down, and that may be the game. That is, in fact, the game right there. Dise able to come back even though he was behind economically throughout much of the game. You can see Dise mining significantly less. Well, I would have thought there was a lot more gold mined by the Undead, but I guess it really wasn't that big of a difference. Dise actually had lost more gold to upkeep. So he was in higher upkeep than his opponent, and this is a very different strategy than what we saw earlier, where Night End, in today's cast, where Night End was purposely trying to avoid going into low upkeep. Dise just said, you know what, I'm just going to beat you with a bit of a larger army so that you can't get your economy and that advantage going. And that turned out well. It turned into a hero level advantage for Dise, having dual level 5 heroes, earning more experience, and then walking away with the victory. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.